Hi, it's Paula here from Scrap FX in Moxie Mojo. I'm going to finally give my wax seal a go. This is the one that I got from Beebeecraft. You would have seen me open that in the Beebeecraft unboxing. Now it's time to actually have a play for the first time. I've got a couple of extra things to go with it. So this was the wax seal stamp that I got, shaped like an open book. I just thought that was perfect for putting in my junk journals. It's 25mm across in diameter, and it's a brass stamp head with a wooden handle, and that can be removed and alternate heads put on the handle. But at this stage, this is the only one I've got. I've got here as well a tea light candle, which I've put into, now this is actually an oil burner, and it normally has like a little wee teapot that sits on the top. If I turn that sort of sideways so you can see it, candle sits underneath, and when you put the few drops of essential oil on the top, and then as the heat would rise it would then let the aroma escape out the top. But I'm not going to use the little wee teapot bit, I'm just going to use this. I got these here in New Zealand from inktea.co.nz. I looked online for where I could get some wax sticks or wax beads, and Inktea had the best range at the best price that I have found. So now we'll give them a go and see how they go. I've got 23 odd different colours, I think. Some are metallic, some are matte. First time out, I'm just going to try with one of these, and then I might give it a go on whether I can mix the colours up. So I'm just going to have an experiment. At this stage I'm not going to put them onto any paper, I'm just going to make them directly on my heat resistant craft mat from Ranger. Got the stamp from Beebeecraft, and we'll give it a go. So I've got no idea how long this is going to take, but we will find out. Right, so we've got a flame there, stand that there so that it stays nice and cool, and we're going to start with the blue one. So light that on there, and let's get it melting. Okay, so I've been watching videos on YouTube for what I need to do, how to do it, and certainly seeing some smaller beads looks like it's going to be easier, but these are what I could find because I knew Beebeecraft didn't supply them, or at least I couldn't find them in their on their product list. So this was my next best option. So we'll see how this goes. Takes a yeah, I did say this is like the slower version of melting the wax. The other option I could try is to like cut off little bits so that I could then melt it in the spoon. So I might try that as my next option. But right now I'm absolutely loving this colour. This blue is totally gorgeous. And once I've melted this to what I think might be enough wax, I will compare the stick to the original, like the green one, to see how much wax I did use in order to get this done. You see, this is taking a surprising amount of time. Might have to speed it up and do a voiceover, I think. Right, let's see if that's enough. So then we've got this sitting here. Drop that in. Let it sit. Green one's about 9 centimetres. I've used about 1 centimetre, so I should be able to get 8 or 9 seals out of each stick. Right, so let's see how this goes. Peel that off. Yep, so I definitely did not use enough wax on that, and I think maybe melting in the spoon, I think, is going to be a much better option. But let's put some paper underneath that so that you can hard with the lighting I've got in here. So let's zoom in a bit more. I love the way that the book has come out, and even around the edge, but it looks a lot darker on the paper than what it does in real life. It's actually quite light. Let's just move that flame a bit further so it's not burning my hand. But yeah, I'm pleased with that first time out. See, on the back, it's almost got a swirl of colour in there. I'm going to bring in our flame again. We've got that one going, and we've got that one going. So we're going to try and do this two-handed where you can see. Shift that forward a wee bit. Hopefully you saw some of that. It looks like I've got a better sort of surround of the wax. So I think I've got a lot more than what I had on this one. If I swap that side there. See, here I was a bit short over here. So I need to do more. And this one certainly looks like it's got a lot more around there. So let's peel that off. Still a bit short, but better than that first one. A wee bit stuck there. That was, I think, one of those little blobs. So we've got some very dark colours coming in there, which I think might be from soot getting onto the wax. But I do love the sort of marbly look, and even with that black in there, I think that looks pretty cool. Not coming off on my fingers. No, that looks cool. I'm liking it. Definitely need to work on getting that around. So we might try for the next one melting them in a spoon. Let's give that a go. Right, so let's just pause you while we organise a spoon. I've had a couple of attempts, and pretty much as I expected, it takes quite some time to get enough wax drops to make your seal, and and they cool as they're going, so you can see sort of the different drops on the back. because they're hitting a cold surface, they're essentially cooling straight away. So I feel like using a spoon I think is going to be the best option for getting a more even melt. Kind of what I've heard. So what I'm going to do is try cutting up a couple of these. So I'm going to use the green and white. Now the white is a matte wax stick. So we're going to try is one at about there. And the only problem with these is that they've got the wick running right through the center. So I'm going to have to cut them and cut out that wick. So somewhere over here, by the look of it, should be a wick. Hopefully I can find that, although I couldn't see it in the white, so maybe that wick doesn't go all the way down as much as what the blue, you can see the green one there sitting, so can't see that. So we've got those. Oh no, see it's over the side there. But can't see it in there. I'm sure it'll all come out in the wash. And then we're going to try about the same amount on here. Whoops. Now this is definitely something for adults to try and is not suitable for children. Certainly not this part of it. Alright, good news is that the wick is at least green so I can see it. There's probably better tools available for doing this. I'm not cutting that up, making sure to keep my fingers right out of the way. Now I'm going to try and just, there we go. Whoops, apart from the fact that it's just fallen off my table. There is that wick. So can I pull that out? Because I don't want that sort of tainting the wax that I'm using. Right, I think that's the, is it there? Yep, there we go. That's the wax, the wick out of the white one, so that can go in the rubbish. So now we will seal that off and put that safely out of the way. Now we are going to put those into there. Ooh, it might be too much for in there. Right, let's just put them to one side. I'm not sure how much wax I can fit in my spoon, but all the little bits can go in. And to start, so I've moved my chopping board. And yes, that's a chopping board that I have in my studio that is used purely for crafting. Right, so we've got that wax going. Now this furnace got quite hot with that little tea candle sitting in there, so it's one thing you do need to be very careful of. Now because I haven't got a stand for this, I'm just going to hold it. So let's see if we can zoom you in a bit. Whoops, wrong way. We'll shift this over to one side. Now, one thing I did see on one of the webs I saw was someone had put in a metal washer into there to stop the heat sort of going out from the middle. So I might have to try that. So I'm going to put in another couple of wax pellets that I've melted down, or that I've cut up rather, I should say. I don't want to put it all in because I am afraid that the spoon is not going to be big enough for all the wax that I need for this seal. So it's going to be a bit of trial and error for me on this. I should probably be doing it right-handed as well, because the little spout's on that far side. So let's just swap it all over to get. So if I put that back a bit, you can still see it, and then I can pour it into here. Right, so that seems to be melted a wee bit. Let's put in a wee bit more, and that greeny bit there. Now the good thing about using the tea light in this furnace and the spoon is that the wax itself, all of it stays melted. Now, over here I've got a toothpick, which hopefully should be okay for stirring this wax and won't go up in flames. So I'm just going to stir that. Ooh, give it a wee swirl. I like that. Now I'm pretty sure that is not going to be enough wax. So let's put in another one each. But I'm just not sure the capacity of the spoon, how much it's going to be able to hold. We've just got up that little hint of blue because I had a little bit of blue that had just dropped off the stick when I was melting it. The wax stick. Alright, just that. I want to get that green melted. And then we'll give that one a go, see if it's enough. Because that's roughly half of what I had in there. Seems to be fairly fluid. I'm just running it around the spoon a wee bit. Right, so let's just push this out of the way slightly and let it drop. Well, not enough wax there, definitely not enough, but let's, ooh. So what I need to work on is not getting wax underneath the spoon. Don't mind if it sits in the, cools in there at all, but we don't want it on the underneath. And I need something to put that onto. Right, so let's see how we go with this one. Ooh, look at that. Carefully peel that off there. Where's my backing paper? Okay, it's very thin, but I do like the way that's turned out. I love how clear that book is looking. That is gorgeous. Okay, this side's really good, But if we hold it up sideways, you can see how it's almost like paper thin, almost like kind of like a vellum. You can see the sort of shadow of my finger through it in this light. But that is definitely better than what the other two were. So having tried using the sticks and then melting in the spoon, definitely melting in the spoon, it helps give you a better impression in the wax seal because the wax is all sort of that one temperature.